The third base position is not looking too hot for 2022. Let's talk about it next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. As always, make sure to follow and stream us on Spotify. Today is Thursday, October 21st. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Scott White. And let's take a look at Scott's top 12 rankings at third base for next season. No surprise, number 1 on the list is Jose Ramirez. Then we have Rafael Devers, Manny Machado, Austin Riley, Nolan Arenado, and Alex Bregman. Those are the top 6 for next season. Scott, how are you feeling about your guy, Austin Riley? You're wearing the Braves polo there. How confident are you in his breakout 2021?
Pretty confident. I mean, the StatCast expected stats say he overperformed. His BABIP was nearing 370. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say he overperformed to some degree, but he's a good line drive hitter, hits the ball hard. You expect him to have a higher than average BABIP, and I think you can expect 80 to 90% of this production next year, which is enough to make him stand out at a position that's really, really bad. And I do want to take a moment to demonstrate just how bad it is. You said it at the top, but you can tell by these multi-eligible players. I have Luis Arias is my 19th ranked third baseman. That's compared to 26th at second base. So 19 versus 26 there. And then DJ LeMahieu is my 14th ranked first baseman. That's compared to 22nd at first base. So 14 versus 22 there. Yeah, it's not good.
All right. Well, I mentioned Alex Bregman is part of this top 6 here, and he's coming off an injury-riddled season. He had 270, 12 homers, and only 90 games. He still has great plate discipline. Seems like he's better suited for points leagues, but what's a realistic expectation for Alex Bregman at this point?
Realistically, provided he stays healthy, he should be able to deliver you an above average batting average, maybe 270 to 280. A lot of RBI and runs scored in the Astros lineup as somebody who gets on base a lot. But really, it's the home run column I want to focus on here, because 2019 he had 41 home runs. That's never going to happen again. No more 40 homer seasons for Bregman, I think, because of the introduction of the new baseballs. He's not a guy who even that season hit the ball especially hard. And it seems like those are the ones who suffered the most from this change in the ball. And, 12 home runs and 348 at bats this year would seem to suggest as much for Bregman specifically. 2018, he hit 31 home runs. Maybe he could do that again, but I'd still bet against that. I'm thinking Bregman is probably more of a 20 to 25 homer guy moving forward, which at this position, obviously I'm ranking him 6th. I think that's enough to get him there. And kind of I'm ranking him 6th because I hope I'm wrong, and I hope he could still come close to MVP production, but I don't think it's fair to expect that from him anymore. Really, at third base, we're talking about a very clear top 5, and Jose Ramirez, Rafael Devers, Manny Machado, Austin Riley, and Nolan Arenado. And then after that, there may be some upside, but there's a lot of risk, and the exciting options run out quickly.
Well, if you like risk, you've come to the right place, because 7 through 12 in the third base ranks: Adalberto Mondesi, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rendon, Justin Turner, Josh Donaldson, and Matt Chapman. I don't know that there's another group of 6 players in baseball that are more injury prone than the players that I just mentioned. And it's kind of weird to see Mondesi here, because normally he's shortstop eligible. He won't be for next year, only third base. Scott, what do we do with Adalberto Mondesi?
Well, thank goodness he's third base eligible, first of all, because shortstop is much deeper than third base. Yeah, I mean, at this point, the Royals themselves are saying they don't feel like they can count on him being around all year. So if they don't even feel like that, then I don't think you should either. And, obviously his chance of stealing a ton of bases, I mean, his stolen base ceiling is higher than anybody else in baseball. So in roto leagues, particularly with the how thin this position is, I think it makes sense to rank him as high as 7th. In a points league, I rank him 11th at the position, because I don't know that you can count on him for much else, whether it's at bats or, production. You just know there's going to be a lot of steals for as much as he's able to be on the field, and that's a big deal in 5x5 leagues.
Matt Chapman had a very down season in 2021. He was coming off hip surgery last offseason. Scott, is Matt Chapman someone that you could see yourself buying back in on next year?
Well, I feel like you have to see the glass half full on a lot of players at this position. I feel like it's easier to with Chapman because he was coming off that hip surgery. It's pretty serious surgery, and you could see how it impacted his entire swing. The strikeouts were way up. He still showed pretty good power considering. So, if I miss out on that top 5, if Bregman or Anthony Rendon, my hopes of a bounce back for them, if it's just not priced quite right, I can see myself having a lot of shares of Matt Chapman and just hoping for the best.
Me too. I kind of like the early expected value on Matt Chapman. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. If you enjoyed the pod, please leave a 5-star review on Apple. We'll be back again on Tuesday morning. Bye-bye.